see anything on the sensors, that's a problem.
No, right now. Nothing.
Now look at this. Look at it. Look at it. It's just sitting there. Look at that.
What? Holy smokes, man.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and well, last night was the Tesla financial end of quarter reporting call, and there was a lot of interesting things revealed. Not really about Tesla, so to speak, because they continue to thrive, although Wall Street says they didn't make all of the money, so they're a complete failure, or whatever the case is. But they also, Elon Musk made some very pointed remarks around the Twitter purchase, pointed remarks that caused the Twitter stock to surge, and essentially completely confirmed that he has made his peace and that the deal is in fact moving forward. Basically, all that's left now is the crying from all the lunatics on the left. But before we get into all that, I just want to give you a super quick word from this video sponsor, Bloodlines. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Bloodline, Heroes of Lithus. It's a hero collector fantasy RPG with a 3D art style in which you can build your own kingdom, collect champions, defend it, and the world. But even better, you can create your own unique legendary champions by combining bloodlines of elves, demons, demigods, orcs, dwarves, lycans, dragonborn, and more. And that's really the cool part of the game, is you could really make it your own. If you've not tried out Bloodline yet, now is the best time to do so, because the game just got its biggest update ever. The newly added hybrid system is actually mind-blowing. You can customize your champions through their unique marriage system to create over 800 new different hybrids between any two bloodlines, and not only inheriting their talents and traits, but also the unique appearances passed down from each family tree and merged into one. New fantasy characters are being released into the game every month, which means that the possibilities are literally endless. Speaking of characters with sleek designs, nothing beats this new vampire clan, the Accursed, which is coming into the game as a brand new lineage of your bloodline this Halloween. They are the darkest and most terrifying assassins yet to be found in the world of Lithus, an undead clan that rose alongside dark elves from the ashes of the homeland's cataclysm. These wraith lords were cursed by the dark ritual that has given them an insatiable thirst for blood. By participating in the Halloween event starting October 27th, you'll be able to obtain an Accursed champion for free on the 7th day. Make sure you use my link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen to get Bloodlines right now, and I'll see you in game. Okay, so New York Post, Elon Musk admits, quote, obviously he's overpaying for Twitter, but he's still excited for the $44 billion deal. I mean, essentially, this kind of off-the-cuff remark on the call, on the earnings call, tells us that the deal's done. Like, Elon's paying it. It's, they have the money. It's financed. Tesla CEO Elon Musk admitted on Wednesday that he's obviously overpaying for Twitter, but the billionaire said he's nonetheless excited to own the social media site. Though myself and the other investors are obviously overpaying for Twitter right now, the long-term potential for Twitter is an order of magnitude greater than its current value. The mogul's comments came at a time during the Tesla earnings call that was held as his attorneys hammer out the very final settlement with Twitter. Musk said that this month he would end on-again, off-again friction with Twitter, or he would end it by buying the site for $44 billion, but both sides are still negotiating the details of the deal and have not reached a final agreement ahead of the October 28th court deadline, sources close to the deal said. If the deal isn't closed by the end of the month, Twitter lawsuit against Musk will go to trial. I mean, of course, it's going to be done. I mean, you don't come out on the earnings call and say, like, hey, I'm pretty pumped to get this, take ownership of this now. I mean, certainly in Elon's mind, the deal is done. Shares of the social media giant jumped 1.5% to 52.50 in after-hours trading following Musk's comment Wednesday, indicating increased investor confidence that the deal will go through at the previous price of $54.20. Analysts have speculated that Musk will need to sell billions of dollars worth of Tesla shares to cover the bill for Twitter. Musk was barred from selling shares in the lead-up to Tesla's earnings report, but is now allowed to sell them. He did not address whether or not he would do so on Wednesday's call. Well, I think that's exactly what they were waiting for, is after, now that the call is done, I am sure that he's initiated the sale of those shares to finance the deal, and I expect the deal to be done by Friday. At this point, he's got to move around many billions of dollars, so he's got to sell stock. It takes time to sell and move to, move to his bank account. Musk also told the conference call that he saw a path for Tesla to be worth more than two mammoth companies, Apple and Saudi Aramco combined. Some critics on Twitter blasted the audacious prediction as an attempt to pump the company's stock as Musk prepares to sell his shares for Twitter. I mean, if you know anything about Elon Musk, the guy's been, over-promising for years. Now, he's still delivering a lot of important technology, including many things that I use in my house, whether it's the solar wall, the power, backup for my house, or, solar roof panels, or the very internet that allows my business to run in them, because I live in the middle of nowhere. I'd never be able to live stream if it weren't for Starlink. Like, to be honest, like Starlink, the existence of Starlink made me have the confidence to kind of go off the grid, so to speak. And it's been seamless. And so, yeah, I'm a little bit of a fanboy, so to speak. But, everybody else seems to be, going nuts about it. You can see Gizmodo. Elon Musk seems all in on his Twitter purchase in the Tesla investor call. Elon Musk couldn't stop himself from talking about Twitter, even when no one really asked. In the QA portion of the call with Tesla shareholders on Wednesday, the billionaire said unprompted that he was looking forward to acquiring the social media company despite the hefty bill. I'm excited about Twitter's situation because obviously I know the product incredibly well, and I think that it's an asset that's sort of languished for a long time but has incredible potential, Musk opined. And his eagerness about the online platform is apparently enough to keep him optimistic through the major acknowledgement that, quote, myself and the other investors obviously overpaying for Twitter right now. In Musk's view, the long-term potential for Twitter is an order of magnitude greater than its current value. Now, what happens with all the alternatives if Musk takes over? I still think, even with Elon Musk owning Twitter, that it's extraordinarily important to have new tech options. I'd hope that people don't stop using them. But as I've talked about with a few other people over the past couple of weeks and in my own videos, that we have so many alternatives, whether it's Truth, Gab, Getter, Parler now, allegedly. It's, like people who want kind of like free speech are getting to the point where they need to kind of pick one and really congregate there, because people will use Twitter and, they'll use Twitter and Gab, which I think is still the best solution for free speech and for the freedoms that people want. But people are not going to use Twitter and. So they're not going to use Twitter and Gab and Parler and Truth and Getter. Just not going to happen. So, if you really want to have a viable alternative to Twitter, then one of these alternatives has to kind of step out. Gab has its own optics issues, which is why I think it hasn't really become the go-to. Truth, I don't think, is viable. Parler is dead, and Getter is full of bots. So I don't know, and now I think a lot of people are kind of holding serve in terms of, people who would ultimately support new and alternative technologies are just chilling right now. They're waiting, because if Elon, all I ask is that Elon's so if all the people that, want alt tech were to just say, hang out on Twitter, as long as they remove the shadow banning and enforce the rules evenly, there's much less of a need. Now, Musk has hinted and tweeted at vague plans to transform Twitter into his long-rumored X or Everything app. And in recent days, the richest man on earth, meme posting has framed the ongoing embattled company acquisition as some sort of grand scheme to return free speech to the internet, along with Kanye West and Donald Trump. Yet for most of the past couple of months, Musk has seemed far from enthused about the Twitter deal. Almost immediately after making his offer back in April, the billionaire began having cold feet. Well, that's a lot of dimp. It's a lot of money. I mean, I've spent money on a pair of shoes that I immediately regretted, and that was like $70. or paying for a video game that I know I probably didn't need to buy, because I have an old, backlog. That's a lot of dollars. It wasn't $44 billion. It's so much money. It's like unfathomable. We don't even know. I wouldn't even know how to consider that, how to even think about that. Now, is there a big upside for Twitter? I would suspect so. I would think that it's only just touched its potential because of just how much time people already spend on an app that really doesn't do anything. It's good for like getting a quick update on, what people are talking about, what's interesting, what's going on in the news. But like ultimately it doesn't really add any value. And for the amount of time that people have, spent in the app, I'm sure that there's a ton that Elon could add, whether it's called X or that's just, that's a placeholder and it remains called Twitter. And there's more to it. I'm just anxious to get unshadow banned. That would be really nice. And to get a bunch of people back on Twitter who are unfairly permanently banned, because I think that would make Twitter a lot more interesting. I hope you enjoyed this video. Think it'll close this week? I kind of do. Let me know in the comment section down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.